get your body and your mind ready for a 30-minute HIIT burn-in and body weight balance cardio circuit. Today's workout features a warm-up which introduces our body movements that we're going to be using for the cardio workout, as well as dynamic stretches that help prevent pain and injury. We have a burn-in portion that's a high-intensity interval of 20 on, 10 off, 4 exercises, 3 times through. No impact modifications are always provided. And then we go into the body of the workout. This is 50 on, 10 off, with movements that feature dynamic balance. Again, preventing pain and injury, but introducing longevity. And we've got 6 exercises, 2 times through. We're gonna listen to that tone, we're hitting that warm up. We feature 9 exercises straight through. We start with the walk in place. We wanna find our kinetic alignment. This is really important because this is how our skeleton is featured, lined up, so that we can prevent that long-term pain, get our muscles moving properly to support better alignment of our skeleton. So in that walk in place, our second toe is pointed forward. It's in line with our knees, in line with our bony hip. This is our hip bone, not our widest hip set. We're gonna pump opposite arm, opposite leg, slowly bringing that heart rate up. In 5 seconds, we're gonna go to a jog in place or a high knee march, depending if we wanna increase that intensity. So we wanna bring the heart rate up slowly. If we're going to that jog in place, our knees come straight forward, and we're pumping those arms and legs a little bit faster. The higher up the knees go, the higher up that heart rate. If we're not jumping today, we can go to a high knee march. Again, pumping opposite arm, opposite leg. We're warming up the ankles. No matter what, whether we choose to jump or walk everything out, if we move purposefully and with strong intention, engaging those muscles, we can get a great workout either way. 5 seconds, we're gonna go to 3 split jumps to a rear leg raise. So we're gonna stagger those feet hip width apart. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then that back leg is gonna come up and slightly out to the side by squeezing the bum. All right, so 1, 2, 3, up and back. If we're not jumping, we're tapping behind, squeezing the leg, and then again, lifting by squeezing the bum and a gentle pulling on the belly button. So with or without a jump, purposeful, strong movement, using the arms, because the more muscles we're using, the higher the heart rate's gonna go, because the more oxygen our blood is using, or our muscles are using. 5 seconds, heart rate's a little bit high. We're gonna go to a squat with a lunge, side to side. Feet are wide, toes are straight ahead. We're gonna sit down to the middle of that squat and shift to one side, stacking toes, knees, hips. Switch it over to the other side, straightening the other leg, enjoying a stretch deep through the inside of that thigh. So this stretches muscles which are called adductor muscles. These muscles pull our knees in towards each other, making us more prone to ACL, MCL, as well as long-term osteoarthritis. So stretching these muscles out, calming them down, getting them to a healthier length can actually reduce some pain and long-term injury on our knees. So stretch them out, enjoy that stretch deep through the inside of that hip and thigh. 5 seconds, and we're gonna go to an alternating hamstring stretch with a carry-away arm. One foot is flat on the ground, the other toe is tapping down. We're gonna take opposite hand and reach towards knee, shin, or toes, keeping the chest up tall. Then we stand up. We're gonna reach that hand up and across the body with the palm facing up. We're gonna switch legs. Ooh, my hamstring is feeling really tight today, so I'm gonna take a little bit of extra time on my right side. Now, as I sit down, or I lean over here, notice my back stays neutral. I'm not rounding and falling down towards the floor, kind of sticking those hips back. So I get a big stretch through the outside back of the thigh, potentially down towards the calf. As I reach up and across, it's like I'm pulling a sword from my pocket here. I rotate my palm up and I feel a stretch through the outside of my armpit. 5 seconds, we're gonna go to front jacks. Again, bringing that heart rate up a little bit. Again, this is a cardio warm-up, so we wanna bring that heart rate up so we're ready for that workout. So the arms come straight up in front as we pop those feet in and out. At any point, you can step, still working those arms. Now we wanna hone in our posture. Our chest is tall, our belly button's pulled in, and our chin is back. So my ears over hips, our ears over shoulders, over hips. So you can tap, tap, and then jump, jump, alternating, or you can stay jumping, or you can stay tapping. Either way, you've got 10 seconds left. Hone in on what your body needs and feels good for you today. We're gonna go to some walking lunges or a long stride, depending on those knees and hips. So to do the walking lunges, you step forward, feet hip width apart. We bend the back knee down and we squeeze the bum. So we get a nice big stretch through the front of the hip and thigh. And then we can alternate legs. If you're tight on space, you can just step backwards and stay stationary. If lunges are challenging for you, go ahead and take a long stride and just simply squeeze the bum, tucking the hip under. You'll still feel a stretch through the front of that hip and thigh, an area where a lot of us get really short, tight muscles due to sitting. All right, so whether we're lunging or taking a long stride or enjoying that stretch down the front of that hip and thigh, 10 more seconds. We're gonna go to a squat with a calf stretch, warming up the legs a little bit more, stretching out the calves. Feet hip width apart. We sit the hips down and back into that squat. Step forward, drive that back heel into the ground, leg nice and straight. If squatting is painful, do not go as deep. We wanna get the legs warm, all right? So even if it's a quarter squat, a stand up and squeeze, that is still a squat. It is still functional, right? I do not squat all the way down to the ground. We should be squatting almost as if we're sitting in a chair. And we want to keep the back nice and neutral. We don't want to be sitting so far down the chest falls forward. We want to keep the knees in line with the toes. Enjoy the stretch through the outside back of that calf. 10 seconds, we're gonna go to a walk down to a plank with a T. 4 seconds, this is the last dynamic stretch. Here we go. We're gonna bend at the waist, walk the hands out into a plank position. We're gonna lift one hand across and then up towards the ceiling. Across, up towards the ceiling, walk the hands back in, stand it up, back out. So out into that plank, we want to punch the hands through the floor. We want to keep the hips up nice and long and tall. You can add a jump or a pop up to the toes. We want to all try to alternate sides. Whatever side we reached through last or came up into that T. Last 6 seconds, we're finishing our warm-up with an alternating lunge power skip. So if there's no pain in those knees, we step down and back and drive that back knee up into a skip. So down and back, up, land in balance. That's where that comes in. If we are not jumping today, we go into a lunge only as deep as we can go without knee pain on either front or back leg. And we come up into a balance, into a skip position or a high knee march without jumping. So down and back, jump or skip or high knee, whatever it looks like to you. And you can, again, alternating 1-1 without jumping, 1-1 with. First 30-second intro here. Keep the feet moving, get a quick drink. First group is that burn in, 20 on, 10 off. Our first exercise is exclusively a lunge power skip on one leg. So down and back, drive the knee up into a skip or just a high knee, we stay on that side. Then the second exercise, we go to 3 lateral hops. So 1, 2, 3, hop to switch. Ready? Lunge power skip, 20 on, 10 off. Aiming to land quietly in balance. So try to keep that knee in line with those toes, feet hip width apart, down and back. Going as high as we can, either on the toes or in that jump. 20 seconds goes fast. We're moving those feet. 3 lateral hops to switch. So we hop towards the inside leg. We go 1, 2, 3, hop and switch. If we're not hopping, little baby steps. All right? Hop to switch. And that step, hop, or jump to switch is only as far that is safe for you and your body right now. So, this is working a lot of dynamic balance on that leg. Lunge, power, skip, opposite leg. Keeping count, trying to keep it even between the two sides. Step down and back, up into that skip, work that balance. Notice how I'm using my arms here. I'm down, driving opposite arm, opposite leg. Trying to stay long and tall through the crown of that head. We don't want to round. We're powerful and strong. Keep the feet moving. Last exercise of this burn in is a front jack, just like warm up. You ready to come with me? Here we go. Popping the feet in and out, arms straight up in front, with or without jumping. We don't forget those modifications, but again, purposeful, strong movement. Now, 5 seconds, and we're done with round 1 of our burn-in already. 10-second breather before it starts all over. The goal of this burn-in is bringing that heart rate up. This is our high intensity. Once the heart rate is high, it's easier for it to stay high as we move into a low intensity balance cardio circuit. So drive the heart rate up here, make it count, whatever it looks like for you. 3 seconds, with or without jumping, no matter where you are on your fitness journey. You can hear me huffing and puffing, right? 3 lateral hops to a switch, light, small hops if hopping is a challenge for you, okay? We do not need to be twisting ankles, but working on that balance is important. Working on absorbing, right? If we go to fall, sometimes we do almost hit a light hop. So working on that control and that balance in those dynamic movements, really important for longevity. Lunge, power, skip, opposite leg. Keeping that knee in line with those toes, noticing if it wants to pull in, either when we go down or when we land. Try to keep it in line with those toes. Build awareness of where our body is in space. These intervals are going fast, right? Let's make the most out of it. Front jacks, lighter interval, still important. Popping the feet in and out. Toes stay straight ahead. We have nice, soft knees. Again, chin tucked, head back, especially as we raise those arms in front. We don't want the head to be pulling forward or the shoulders to be going up and down. One more time through each of those 4 exercises in this high intensity is over. Lunge, power skip. Last one on this side. Down and back. Drive it up. You might notice your thighs, your glutes, your calves are starting to burn, particularly on that front leg. It's pushing through the ground and working. It's landing. 3 seconds. These are hard things. Embrace it and challenge it on the other side too. 3 lateral hops to switch. Only going as far as what feels safe for your body. We don't want to twist an ankle, but we want to build stability through our ankles, through our knees, and through our hips so that we can stabilize our body as we move side to side in the day. Lunge, power, skip. My heart rate's high, guys. I'm all the way up into zone 4. So the challenge is real. Down and back. Last time on this opposite leg. What have you got? Push through that floor. Drive up, reaching towards your goals, whatever they look like for you. And remember, this is about you, your workout. Every day that workout is going to feel a little bit different. In through the nose, out through the nose. Front jacks. Here we go. Up and down in front of the body, popping the feet in and out. Remember, whoop, toes stay pointed straight ahead. Make a mental note if they want to turn out. You get a 30-second breather in 6 seconds. Stay tall, proud and strong. And keep the feet moving. 30 seconds. Next group. 6 exercises, 50 on, 10 off, only 2 times through. We have a lateral lunge pop, staying on the same side the whole time. So we go out to the side, stacking toes, knees, and hips. Then that leg pushes down through the ground, and that leg pops up, pointing the toes straight ahead, but feeling the hips work. Ready to come with me? Here we go. So out to the side, drive that foot down through the floor. Notice how I'm working. Dynamic balance. We only go as deep as is comfortable for the knees and hips. I have a lot of mobility through here, so it's not uncommon for people to not be quite as deep. And I want to keep your chest up tall. So this isn't about sticking the hips up and having the chest fall down. We're going to feel this working the legs. We're going to feel it working the balance foot as well. We're feeling it in the hip of that top leg as we squeeze. What I'm aiming for here is called the glute medius. Stability and core support of our hip, knee, and ankle. All right, keep the feet moving. Next exercise is that walk down with that reach and T-plank. So bend at the knees and hips, walk the hands out to a full plank, reach across, and then up towards the ceiling. Switching sides, and then hand back down, walk it back in. If you'd like, you can jump it up for fun or come up to those toes, just to increase that intensity. If you have any pain, feel free to walk the hands out on a table, couch, or chair, and do this on an incline. And then you still walk it in, you can come up to those toes, whatever it looks like. We don't want to be in pain here. We want to get the body moving and strengthen our core. Slow and steady wins the race. If we're feeling pain and we keep pushing into it, it's not going to lead to sustainable longevity, right? It's going to hold us back. We have those 3 split jumps to a leg raise. So we go 1, 2, 3, back leg comes up and slightly back. So this is where we're really focusing. You'll notice we're focusing on balance here. A little bit of compound movements, making our brain work. And with or without jumping, we can tap it back. Big up and squeeze on those glutes. 1, 2, 3, up and squeeze. Notice that my upper body, when I tap back, isn't arching or moving. It's focused on a big squeeze on my bum. You can even put your hand on your glute and feel it engage underneath it. Whatever it looks like for you, we want to get the brain talking to our glutes. There's no lazy buns here. Feet hip width apart, second toe pointed straight ahead, focused movements. Yes. Now we did that lateral lunge pop. We've got the same thing on the opposite side. So opposite leg, stepping out to the side, pushing down through the floor, squeezing that opposite hip. I want to try to keep the same number of repetitions throughout this 50 seconds as we did on that first side. Now what you're going to notice is your breathing isn't as intense as it was in that burn-in, but yet we're keeping our heart rate relatively high. This is because we got that heart working early. Now, we have to do physically less to keep the heart rate up higher. which means we're optimizing oxygen delivery, making our bodies burn energy and use energy. 2 seconds. Yes, a little bit more efficiently. We're gonna go to a jab cross front kick. Yes, a spot of kickboxing. We stagger those feet, we punch. Front arm, back arm, balance, we front kick. Switching sides, so front arm, back arm, balance, front kick. Our wrists are stiff. Our thumbs are outside of our fists for these punches. And we're exhaling and pivoting from our hips and core to get more power on those punches. And then the front kick is as high as is challenging for you. I don't want you to feel like you're pulling a hamstring here. Not the purpose. We just want to balance and strike. And you can even hold that balance for a second so that you're adding that little extra challenge. 5 seconds. All right, we're going to our final exercise of this group. We have a single leg hop to a lateral tap. So we step, hop, or jump towards the opposite leg, rolling heel toe, balance. We tap the opposite foot out to the side, squeezing the bum. So step, hop, jump, balance, tap out to the side. The further you step, hop, or jump, the more the foot, the knee, and the hip have to work to get you into that balance position. All right, so we want to land heel toe. This teaches our glute to engage quickly. It also challenges our foot muscles to stabilize our foot and ankle quickly. Chest up tall, belly button in. Again, we're purposeful. We're squeezing the glute as we tap out to the side. Beautiful work. And guess what? 6 exercises left, 6 minutes left of this workout. Lateral lunge pop on the original side. Here we go. Stacking toes, knees, and hips. Big out to the side and squeeze. If you can, you don't ever tap that foot down. You work on the balance throughout. That means that this hip is squeezing as we lift up. This hip is squeezing quickly to engage us in balance. I exhale as I push that foot through the ground. And as I get stronger and more confident here, I can work on the power of that push. This is a great way to challenge our power without having to jump and be a high impact movement. Under 10 seconds. Dig deep. We're working hard. We're pushing that foot through the floor, focusing on alignment. Walk down to a T-plank. 5 seconds. Keep the feet moving in between. Heart rate up. Bend at the knees and hips. Walk it out to that plank. Reach across, up into that T. Try to keep the head long and tall. We're squeezing that hip and the inside of our ribs so they're pulling up away from the floor. We're punching the hands through the floor the whole time. And our belly button is pulled in, so we're engaging that core to keep that solid plank position as we rotate. We're feeling it. Up and down we go. Try to keep that chin tucked and that head back. The chin and nose are gonna wanna pull forward. This is good training for the back of our neck to improve posture throughout the day, which can actually make our upper back and neck less stressed and strained. 3 split jumps, rear leg raise. So again, squeezing the bum, helping our brain talk to our glutes a little bit better, pumping opposite arm, opposite leg, and a gentle pull in on that belly button. It can be hard to do whether we're hopping or stepping it out. So a lot of things to think about, but making these movements purposeful, and notice even I lose my balance sometimes. Adjust, reconnect with that body, and make the most of wherever you can, because every workout's going to look a little different each day. 30 seconds. It's the fact that you're doing it and you're connecting your mind and your body, moving a little bit better. Lateral lunge pop, opposite leg. Last time through. Here we go. Driving it up as we push that foot down through the floor. Now, I want you to try to keep that core nice and neutral. We don't want that leg to be coming up by squeezing the upper body down. All right, focused, control. Feel that hip engage. Both hips are gonna engage. This one as we lift, the opposite leg as we catch and balance. Over halfway through. Focus in. What is challenging about this exercise? Where do you feel like it's making you think? 5 seconds. Make each movement count. Each movement strong. Last one. And I am feeling that hip fatigue. We have a jab cross, front kick. On the home stretch, guys, you're almost there. So punching front, 2 punches, front arm, back arm, front kick, switch. 1, 2, 3. Dynamic balance, engaging the upper body as well. I like to make these a total body experience with no equipment needed. And you don't need that much space either. But we can make these movements conscientious and for the long term. Over halfway, punch and work. You'll notice that as you punch, your chest wants to round down. Keep it tall, long, and proud. Proud of the hard work you're doing. You only have 3 seconds. Yes. One last exercise. Single leg hop to the lateral tap for the finish. Do you hear me breathing? Right? This is challenging. Embrace it. Don't stress about it. Don't be ashamed of it. If you are exercising properly, no matter where you are, and you're really focused on making each and every movement count, this workout can be challenging for you. Step, hop, or jump to that opposite leg. Big squeeze on those glutes, forcing those muscles to engage, connect with our brain. We want to retrain positive patterns with our mind and body. This training is what keeps us sustaining long-term fitness habits, long-term health, sustainable, right? Not every workout has to be 190%. We focused on our heart rate, on our balance today, and you're done. Let's take a big deep breath in through the nose. Stretch it out, reach it up towards the ceiling, exhale. Open that chest up, circling those arms. One more big deep breath here. Exhale. And although we didn't do a lot of jumping today, we did do a lot of balance work, which can be challenging on the calves. So we're going to start with a static calf stretch. You can do this in front of a wall. We step 1 foot forward, 3 to 4 feet. That same leg comes out to the side, 6 to 12 inches. We lean into that front leg, pivot the back foot slightly so the pinky toe points forward, and push that heel into the wall. You can either use your front leg as support to push back or the wall. All right, pushing the heel into the ground, leg nice and straight, feeling that stretch through the outside back of the calf, chest up nice and tall, holding for 30 to 45 seconds until we no longer feel that deep stretch in the outside back of the calf. So go ahead and switch sides, stepping forward with the opposite leg, pushing that back heel into the floor. Again, chest up tall. It's easy to kind of like want to bend over and push, but you're going to kind of miss out on part of that stretch. if we stay up tall through the chest and squeeze the glutes, we get a little added benefit there. Beautiful. Shake it out. We're gonna come down to the floor and stretch the front of the hips and thighs. I know I do this one every single time, but it's because we get so tight here. So back foot is flexed. You can have a pillow, blanket, or pad under that bottom knee. We squeeze the glute, tuck the hip under, get a nice stretch through the front of the hip and thigh. We can reach up towards the ceiling or even add a small lean if we feel an increase in stretch. If we are unable to do this on the floor, don't worry about it. Go ahead and use a couch or a chair that's cushioned and do the same thing. Legs slightly forward, back knee bent, foot is flexed. And again, we just kind of lean forward over that front leg, squeeze the glute, get a nice stretch through the front of that hip and thigh. And we want to hold it until we no longer feel that stretching sensation. And then we're going to switch sides. Oh, it feels so good, right? Yes. This is exactly what my body needed after a good cardio workout. I am glistening with the joy of exercise right now. It's very hot and humid here today, and it just kind of like seeps in through the walls, but sometimes it feels really good to know that you worked your body, and I'm grateful for my body to do this for me. We're gonna finish with a child's pose, toes together, knees wide, reaching the hands away, shoulders away from those ears, and we're gonna push that chest towards the floor. If we don't have the mobility through the knees here yet, go ahead and use a raised surface. And if you are unable to kneel at all, again, you can do this in a squat position, but we wanna make sure, most important, we keep the shoulders down and back. One more big deep breath in here, in through the nose. Exhale, press that chest towards the floor. Notice the stretch through the outside of the armpits, down into that low back. And be grateful for making the time for your longevity, for your health. Be grateful to your body for all that it has given you, the stress relief, right? The mental, emotional, and physical health that comes with exercise. And know that you are worth that time. That existential health is so, so important. You challenged your mind, your body, and your balance today. You made time for your longevity. And I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know how Kinetic Balance Fitness is working for you, anything that you loved or would like to see more of, or how I could serve you better. Please never hesitate to reach out and keep up the great work. I hope you're glistening with the joy of exercise.